Today, we're going to be opening a pack of 1992 Upper Deck Baseball. Looking for the Ted Williams. Alright, y'all, let's open some cards now, shall we? Turn the camera around here. There we go. Throw some music on while we're at it. Alright, y'all, let's rip it in, see what we get. Grab my knife here. Alright, here we go. You see, I'm just cracking this box. Okay, let me get it set up here. There we go. Alright, y'all, here we go. Alright, start with our first pack. Alright, y'all, let's rip it and see what we get. Oh, good, this one's opened easily. Looking for the Ted Williams auto. Looking for the Lou Brock autos. Yeah, we got a Ted Williams, but not the one we were looking for. Was that Nolan Ryan? That Nolan Ryan checklist. Not too bad so far. Dave Winfield. Charles Nagy. Alex Cole. Julio Franco. Who's this one? Tim Wallach. Edgar Martinez. Luis Gonzalez. Jack Howell. Bill Kruger. Ooh, another checklist. Everybody take a drink when we get one. Alex Fernandez. Eric King. And win with Jamie Navarro. Alright, y'all. That's what we got in that pack of shit. Got some decent ones. Got Ted Williams, but not the one we're looking for. In this box. We're looking for the 1 of 2,500 Ted Williams hand signs, 1 of 2,500, I think it's Lou Brock hand signs, and 1 of 2,500 Johnny Bench hand signs. Alright, here we go. Let's open the next one. Alright, we start with another Ted Williams. Ryan Kolesko, rookie. Who's that? Kevin Mass. Is that a Yankees checklist? I'm a diehard Yankees fan, by the way. Dave Magadan. Oh, hello, Ellie. Didn't even see you there. Cal Ripken Jr. Terry Pendleton. Checklist. Randy Velarde. Jeff Blauser. Otis Nixon. Steve Chitrin. Eric Karros. Todd Bensinger. Rich DeLuca. And win with Jerry Don Gleaton. Yes, thank you, Mary. Please like, subscribe, comment. Do whatever you want to do. And I do have the business cards I have are from a company here where I live, which is where I get a lot of my cards from. Music a bit too loud. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. There we go. Oh, happy birthday, Noella Garcia. Thanks for joining in. Let's open the next one. All right, we start with Lee Stevens, Danny Darwin, Bernard Gilkey. Hey, Joe, welcome in. Gino Petrelli, Jody Reed, Charlie Huff, Rick Wilkins, Brian Hunter, Terry Pendleton, Bill Pacoda, Ron Robinson. Ooh, Ozzie Smith. There we go. Got at least one decent one so far. Who's that, Glavin? Oh, Dave Justice. Edgar Martinez. And when with, was that Rico Rogna? Ozzy was a beast, yes. He was always a favorite. Yeah. Well, let's open this next pack here. Still looking for the Ted Williams. Okay, Roger Clemens. There we go. A little bit of Roger. Mike Moore. Dennis Oil Can Boyd. Don Paul. Gary Templeton. Gary Templeton again. Guys, we got two the same card right in a row. Paul Ferries. Joey Cora. Bill Pacoda. Mark Eichhorn. Chris Hammond. Steve Decker. Howard Johnson, Hojo. There we go. I always liked Howard Johnson. He was the man. Gary and Dwight. Gary. Hold on. Gary Sheffield and Dwight Gooden. Good old Doc. And we end with Chris Biggio, Astros checklist. Not too bad. Look these up. I miss collecting cards. Now I can be amazed by Moose World's supply of cards. Yep. Those who don't know, the Moose he's talking about is my father-in-law. That man has a collection that you wouldn't believe it until you saw it. All right, here we go. Let's open the next one. He's probably got over 1 million cards. I mean, he's got an entire attic dedicated to him. Jose De Jesus. Barry Jones. Dave Smith. Sean Abner. Omar Vizquel. Carlos Quintina. There's another checklist. And by the time if we keep taking drinks on these, we're gonna be hammered. Not that that's a bad thing. Greg Briley. Ivan Calderon. Juan Gonzalez. Juan Samuel. Kirk Gibson. I put Kirk Gibson up. I always liked him. Derek Bell. Red Sox checklist. Ellis Burks. And we end with Joey Vitello. That's a historic landmark. Done a visit when I come visit sometime. Well, you're more than welcome to come on up anytime there, Joe. All right, here we go. Let's open another one. Right here, just need to get a trick of some stuff. It's okay, it's a little dry sometimes. And yes, that sounds, yep. That's the sound of the executive producer over here knocking stuff off my shelf. Oh, girl. Pain in the butt. Once I get done buying my house, get a vehicle. Oh, that's important. Adam Peterson. Bill Landrum. Gary Reedus. Todd Zeal. Kent Merker. Dwayne Ward. Todd Stottlemyre. Mark Carrion. Kevin Reamer. Tim Wallach. Ooh, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. Gotta put the Big Hurt up. That man was a beast. Jeff King. Dave Stieb, Blue Jays checklist. Brian Williams. And win with Rob Dibble. Frank Thomas, nice. Gotta like the Big Hurt. Yeah, I figured I'd throw some music on. If y'all need me to turn it up or whatever, let me know. Kurt Drissendorf. Ted Power. Dan Plasek. Jeff Reardon. Joe Bover. Greg Hibbard. Todd Stottlemyre again. Steve Finley. Greg Olson. Ed Sprague. Jeff Hudson. Gary Pettis. Reggie Sanders. Ben McDonald, Orioles checklist. And we end with another Ted Williams, but not the one we're looking for. Well, there we go. That's what we got on that. That was kind of a bit of a pack of shit on that one. Come on. There we go. Wow, that was kind of a bit of a pain in the butt to open. Alright, let's see. Here we get this one. Pete Harnish. Norm Carlton. Jack McDowell. Carlos Martinez. Mike Schooler. Neil Heaton. Daryl Kyle. Dennis Martinez. Gilberto Reyes. Doug Descenzo. Joel Skinner. Ruben Sierra. Who's this one? Rob Dibble. Oh, Ricky Henderson. There we go. And went with David McCartney. Yeah, the only decent one we got in that one was Ricky Henderson. So we get in this one. I guess I turn some more music on. All right, Jim Abbott. There we go. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Jeff Shaw. Chris James. Brian Smith. Greg Carteret. Mitch Williams. Terry Leach. Steve Sachs. Definitely throw Steve Sachs up. He was always one of my favorite players. Julio Franco. Robbie Thompson. Ricky Jordan. Dave Righetti. John Crook. Checklist. Chris and Tony. Oh. Tony and Chris Gwynn. And we end with Eddie Murray. Dodgers checklist. Yeah, Steve was real solid. He was. I mean, he's actually very underrated. I always liked him. All right. Remember Steve Sachs when he was on The Simpsons for that one episode? Craig Grebeck. Well, I think I skipped one. I did. Pete Harnish. Hey, nobody big. Walt Terrell. Jose Offerman. Terry Steinbach. Mickey Moradani. Luis Gonzalez. Milt Thompson. Stan Belinda. Greg Olson. Oh, Delano to the Shields. There we go. Throw him up. He was very underrated. Tom Bolton. Yeah, another checklist. Oh, that's correct. Todd Van Poppel. And went with Barry Larkin. Yeah, there we go. Got some solid ones in that. Yeah, I just kind of want to clean these up. Shields liked him. Yeah, he was cool. A lot of people just kind of brush him off. And not a lot of people in the live today. All right, Ken Hill. Rick Honeycutt. Dave Justice, there we go. Dave Justice. Matt Young. Dave Spellum. Ken Griffey Jr., there we go. That man was a legend. Milt Thompson. Luis Gonzalez. Rafael Palmeiro. Lenny Dykstra. I'm going to throw Lenny Dykstra up. Show him some respect. Terry Kennedy. Chris Hoyles. Brian Williams. Greg Vaughn. That's actually a nice one, Greg Vaughn. I'm going to throw that one up, definitely. And end with Kurt Miller. I knew that was Griffey right away. Paul Amaro was a good one, yeah. Wasn't too bad. But yeah, Ken Griffey Jr., I mean, that man was a, yeah. Some of them I mean to throw up, sometimes I just forget. All right. Travis Fryman. Mariano Duncan. Scott Severus. A little bit of Ass and Paul Assenmacher. Donnie Hill. Mike Timlin. Scott Brosius. Pedro Guerrero. Oh, I'm going to throw him out. Throw him some respect. Ed Sprague. Bobby Thigpen. Throw him up. He doesn't get enough respect either. Kevin Bass. Charlie Lee Brandt. Who's this one? Doug Drabeck. I'll throw him up. Cal Jr. and Billy. Ripken Brothers. And what's this one? Fred McGriff. Oh, I gotta throw Fred McGriff up. Hey, Ass always good. It is. I'm surprised haven't pulled a Kirby Puckett yet. Yeah, I still got quite a bit in here. I mean, there's still a whole lot of cards and boxes in there, packs in that box. '92 Twins team was amazing, or think '92 won it all. Trying to remember back to 1992, a bazillion fucking years ago. I think they did. I can't remember. I'll have to look that one up. Bill Landrum, Kevin Morton, Tino Martinez. Mike Jeffcoat, Jason Grimsley, Thomas Howard, John Orlerud, Dave Cone. I'll throw Dave Cone up. I always like Dave Cone. Carlos Bagaria. Willie Wilson. Hey, another checklist. Oh, Will Clark. That man that's a Hall of Famer right there. Is that Biggio? Yep, Craig Biggio. Scott Erickson. And we end with Bill Wickman prospect. Edgar Martinez was pretty good. My memory crap, too special for that long ago. Yeah, that makes two of us, man. See, 1992, I was 89, 90, 91, 14. I was probably smoking too much damn weed back then. Remember my name. So sometimes I can't remember my name. Well, thankfully I have no choice in that matter. Between the military and just in general, really have no choice in the matter. Rich DeLucia. Mike Mussina. I'll throw Mussina up. Ooh, Bo Jackson. There we go. That's a good one. Geronimo Pena. Greg Myers. Scott Sanderson. Lee Smith. Brett Barbary. Oh, Greg Vaughn. There we go. I'm going to go throw Vaughn some respect. Definitely Danny Tartable. That man was a beast. Joe Oliver. Oh, Darryl Strawberry. There we go. He was the man back then. Eddie Murray. Danny Tartable checklist. One with Carlos Rodriguez. Prospect. Yeah, that would. Yep, checklist. Everybody take a drink. All right, with all the checklists we've been getting so far, I think we might be fish naked by the halfway through this. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just sticking to water right now, but maybe I'll make up for it later on. Maybe next one I'll have a bottle. Maybe have a bottle over here, and every time I get a checklist, I'll do a shot. I got some Admiral Nelson in the fridge. Okay. I knew we'd come across at least one that was a pain in the ass to open. But we don't mess around here. My checklist says Busch Light, and it's full. I'm okay with Busch Light. I'm more of a Budweiser guy personally, but whatever. Luis Salazar. Armando Reynoso. Bernie Williams. I'll throw Bernie Williams up. Oops. Brian Holman. Randy Reddy. Yeah, he looks ready. Walt Whitehurst. Kevin Mass. Kevin McReynolds. Ooh, Brett Saberhagen. I always liked Brett Saberhagen. George Bell. Hector Villanueva. Steve Decker. Is that Fred McGriff? Yep. Ooh, Frank Thomas. There we go. That's a good one. And we end with another Ted Williams. Still not the one we're looking for. Brett, nice one. Yeah, I always like Brett Saberhagen. And you gotta love George, and you gotta love Frank Thomas. That man was the big hurt. Oops. Pardon me. All right, here we go. Let's open the next pack. You know what? I remember when Upper Deck used to come with like holograms and stuff like that. I miss those days. There were some of those were nice hollows. Rob Murphy. Pete Shulyarek. Mark Gardner. Scott Rodinsky. Mike Timlin. Donnie Hill. Dante Bichette. Come on, there we go. Brian Burns. Hey, speaking of hollow, got a nice Red Sox one there. That's a nice one. We'll throw that one up. Gary Sheffield. Oh, there we go. Mark Lewis. Ed Whitson. Ooh, Dave Henderson. There we go. Finally got some decent ones. Willie McGee. Jim Abbott. That's a nice one. I like that one. I love Jim Abbott. And that's a really good one, too, if you can understand this. Be cool, stay in school. That's I like that card. That's a cool one. That's a really nice one. Love Bernie too. He was a monster. I think one of the. Yeah, he was. He was a hell of a center fielder. Hold on. There we go. Just kind of want to take care of these. There we go. There we go. Open the next pack. Maybe. And let's see. We start with another Ted Williams. Still not the one we're looking for. The Griffies. There we go. Ken Sr., Craig, and Ken Jr. I was actually a big fan of Ken Sr. We was playing with the Yankees. This one. Oh, Sean Dunston. That's a good one. I'll throw that one up. That's a really nice one of him. Dave Righetti. Danny Jackson. Gary Sheffield. Mark Lewis. Jim Gantner with the sunglasses. Tom Pagozzi. Greg Catterat. Mitch Williams. Mike Jackson. Yeah, so far it isn't a bad pack. Glenn Allen Hill. Chito Martinez. And what's this one? American League checklist. That's a nice one. Oh, that one up. That actually wasn't too bad of a pack. I like that. I like that Ken Senior. I was Ken Griffey Senior was one of my favorite players, or it was one of my early favorite players. It was with the Yankees back in the '80s. All right, here we go again. What do you guys think of the music? I mean, too loud? Want me to raise it up a little bit? What do y'all think? Figure throw some music on for this one. All right, a little bit of Roger Clemens. Sid Fernandez. Oil Can Boyd. Put Dennis Boyd up. I think he passed away not too long ago. Don Paul. Gary Templeton. Gary Templeton again. Mike Flanagan. Joey Cora. George Bell. Brett Saberhagen. Chris Hammond. Charlie Leibrandt. Delano DeShields. There's Gary and Dwight again. Pedro and Ramon Martinez. Those guys were underrated as hell. Cora was real decent. Yeah, he wasn't bad. I feel like dancing. Well, if you want to dance, you go for it. You get down with your bad self there, Joe Robbins. Just don't hurt yourself. I mean, good to be a certain age. Alejandro Pena. Ken Hill. Bob Tewksbury. Jim Eisenreich. Roger McDowell. Andreas Galarraga. Oh, Jose Canseco. There we go. That's a good one. Greg W. Harris. Julio Franco. Ken Caminetti. Harold Baines. I'll throw Harold Baines up. I liked him when he was with the Expos. Dave Wells. Arthur Rhodes. Dave Justice. I like that one. That's a nice one. Welcome to the Chop Shop. And with Ellis Burks. I'm already screwed on that, and not the way I like it. Yeah, I kind of figured that I'm the same way. Yeah, I liked Harold Baines. I mean, a lot of people give him shit, but I liked him. Dave Wells, the pitcher. All right, we'll check. Hold on 1 second. Yep. Pitcher, Dave Wells. Yeah, he wasn't bad. He was alright. Didn't he play with the Yankees for a little bit? Or I think it's somebody else. Alright, he was with Blue Jays since '87. I was thinking somebody else. Yeah, he should have been. I say sometimes I miss a few. I'm sure I'll come across them 1 or 2 more times. Alright, here we go. Pretty cool itself. I got one of the signatures. I will say that. Alright. Warren Newsom. Jerry Don Gleaton. Jim Eisenreich. Bob Tewksbury. Travis Fryman. Tim Cantinati. Jim Gantner. Roberto Alomar. Mike Benjamin. Tony Pena. That was a good song. I like that. That's a real good song. Brady Anderson. Greg Olson. Chris Donalds. Future stars. Dave Zancanardo. And we're with Bob Melvin. That was kind of a bit of a pack of shit. Yep, please hit the like button, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. Let people know and... Steve Bedrosian. I'll throw him up. I always liked him. Yeah, here's another checklist. Don Slott. Don Slott. The Don Slott Onslaught. Jay Howell. John Smiley. Chuck Knobloch. There we go. So Chuck Knobloch up. Brian Burns. Ryan Bowen. Dick Schofield. Yeah, a little bit of Dick. Mickey Templeton. Scott Fletcher. Lance Johnson. Looks like it's for the national anthem, too. Mo Sanford. Asheville Taurus. What was that? Tom Nevers. I never heard of him. Juan Augusto. Oops. Sometimes I accidentally bump the thing. Alomar was good. Roberto Alomar, he was alright. Alright, here we go. Alright, Roger Clemens. A little bit of Royge. Chito Martinez. Paul McClellan. Raphael Ballard. John Soretti. Greg Hibbard. Tom Glavine. I'll throw Tom Glavine up. Ken Herbick. Mike Felder. Greg Vaughn. Chris Hammond. Delano again. Got Delano and Shields. Mark Newfield. Willie McGee. I'll throw him that time. And we have with Carney Lansford. There we go. Sometimes you just open weird. Jim Abbott again. Sid Fernandez. Andy Mata. Mike Pagliarino. Steve Buechele. Jack Howell. Oh, Wally Joyner, there we go. Jose Canseco. Dave Gallagher. Carlos Belrega. Ricky Jordan. Frank Thomas. Jerome Burnett. Fred McGriff. And we end with another Ted Williams. Still not the one we're looking for. Still not the one we're looking for. Still looking for one of the hand signs. That'd be awesome as hell if you got one of those. And that's Canseco. I could tell that. Pete Chorick. Ray Sanchez. Jay Howell. Zane Smith. Carlos Quintina. Glenn Braggs. Kenny Griffey Sr. Mike Eichhorn. Brett Saberhagen. Danny Jackson. Greg Gagne. Manny Ramirez. Sean Duxton. And we end with Barry Jones. Manny Ramirez. Yeah, he was good. Pete Harnish. Brian Hickerson. Jack McDowell. Another checklist. Mike Schooler. Neil Heaton. Mike Heath. Hold on. A couple stuck together here. Dennis Martinez. Got an A's hologram. Or Angels. I'm sorry, Angels hologram. Gary Sheffield. Al Newman. Joel Skinner. Charles Nagy. Craig Biggio. Ricky Henderson. And we end with Kenny Lofton. That's actually not a bad one. Alright, so we get that one. You okay? Okay. This kind of sounded horrible. Let's see what we get in this pack. Hey, at least these ones are opening easily. I opened a couple of them over the week. They didn't open worth a squat. Jesse Barfield. Greg Harris. Ray Sanchez. Craig Lefferts. Wally Whitehurst. Randy Reddy. Scott Liris. There we go, Don Mattingly. Juan Gonzalez. Cal Daniels. Darren Fletcher. Oops. Ron Karkovice. Who's this one? Todd Zeal. Roberto and Sandy Alomar Jr. Oh, there you go. And Willie McGee. There we go. Wonder where the big unit is hiding at. I don't know. I haven't came across any of his yet. I'm surprised on that one. I'm real surprised I haven't came across one of those. Came across a couple of big hurts, but not big units. Bill Landrum. Bob Ojeda. Tino Martinez. Carlos Martinez. Gino Petrelli. Jason Grimsley. Thomas Howard. Mark Langston. Dave Cohn. Okay, finally I got somebody worth putting up. Mark Lewis. Gerald Clark. There's another checklist. Ozzie Smith again. That's only the second one we come across on him. Eddie Murray. Scott Erickson. And Derek Bell. And let's see, 92, Johnson would have been, I believe, with the Mariners. Rich DeLuca. Carlos Garcia. Bo Jackson. Geronimo Pena. Mike Jeffcoat. Greg Myers. Scott Sanderson. Greg W. Harris. Brett Barbary. George Bell. Mel Hall. Joe Oliver. Ruben Sierra. Fred McGriff. Danny Chartable. And we end with Reggie Sanders. Wizard was top notch. Yep. Yeah, I figure I'll do a little longer one because considering got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 packs left open. Luis Salazar, Lane Housey, Bernie Williams, Brian Holman, Randy Reddy, Wally Whitehurst, Brett Butler, Kevin McReynolds, Danny Tartable, Dave Anderson, Ed Whitson, Will Clark, getting makeup applied to him, Willie McGee, Frank Thomas, and Winfield's 400th. All right. Rob Murphy, Joe Slesarski, Mark Gardner, Scott Radinsky, Mike Timlin, Donnie Hill, Luis Rivera, Brian Burns, Willie Wilson. Oops, a couple stuff together. There we go. Dave Gallagher, Hector Villanueva, Darryl Strawberry. Oops. Sean Dunston, Jim Abbott, and Dave Justice. Man, some of these are getting just be royal packs of shit. I mean, you got some decent ones, but kind of repetitive after a while. I'm not giving up hope. At least we gotta get at least one awesome card. It's got Canseco on it. Chris Hanley, Glenn Allen Hill, Mike Jackson, Mitch Williams, Greg Caderet, Bruce Ruffin, Jim Gantner, Doug Deschenjo, Mike Felder, Danny Jackson, Dave Henderson, Dylan Otis Shields, Griffey's, Rob Dibble, Well, I was going to kind of open the rest of these packs on this, but it's about 11 o'clock and I got some shit I got to do. Alright, y'all. I look forward to seeing y'all in my next live on March 26th. I'm going to be opening a 2026 Top Series 1. Just in time for the opening day of baseball. And I will see y'all in the next one.